Hello, this is Jasmine, and are you guys sick of axolotls yet? Because I have 2 axolotls for you, but I promise this is the final bout of holiday axolotls, although the second one in this video is probably my favorite. I really like it. Today I'm making a cute gingerbread axolotl, and I'm going to be making a pretty bobblelotl, so like a Christmas bauble axolotl, and I'm really happy with them. I'm also trying out a new way of editing. I don't think this is my preferred way of editing, but it is interesting. It's a lot of real time, so let me know in the comments down below how you guys feel about this versus just the sped up kind of videos. It is kind of funny to me because I always assumed that the jump cut kind of videos were a lot more difficult maybe or something. I thought that it was going to be a lot harder, but actually time-lapse videos, for me anyways, are way more difficult because I was just cutting stuff out of this. I didn't have to watch through it all and have to wait for my program to like jitter its way through the video and hope that it was good. Anyway, I am back from my holidays break, and I will be back to posting every single week now, and I'm really excited about it. I had a great Christmas and a great holiday. My boyfriend Derek he took like a week of vacation off after Christmas and over the New Year's, and my sister came out to visit, and it was all just a lot of fun. I hope everybody else had a wonderful holiday season, whether you celebrate it or not. I just hope that it's been at least tolerable, if not enjoyable. It's raining like crazy here. I keep hoping that we're going to get some snow, and so far just rain. Every time I go outside and it feels like it's gonna be frozen, or it is frozen, I'm all excited and I'm like, yes, now it will snow. But it doesn't. Because whenever it gets overcast, it warms up and then it just dumps rain. There's been a little bit of snow, I think, in the mountains, but I'm more like in a valley, so no snow. Maybe someday. So this particular series of paintings that I've been doing lately, you know, the axolotls that I've been doing, these were actually going to be a part of 2025's winter bundle. But I just ended up getting crazy busy and sick and various stuff, and I just didn't get it out in time. But because of that, I'm going to push the winter bundle to be available for a little bit longer now. I'm actually haven't quite launched it yet because I still need to take these axolotls and scan them and clean them up for stickers, and then do test prints of stickers and all of that good stuff, and then product photography. All of the kind of stuff that I really don't like doing, but it's necessary. So I'm going to have a specific drop day, and I don't know why I didn't think of that before. I could always have like a drop day for things like this. But this winter bundle of 2025 will be dropped on January 10th. So if you want to get a hold of it, it is these 4 axolotl stickers, as well as a sugar cookie print. And do I have anything else? I think that's it. And it is going to be available on my Ko-fi as well as my Etsy, and I'll get back to that in a minute because I want to talk a little bit about my shops. But I will for sure have these up on the 10th sometime in the morning. There's not like a limit to how many. I'm not like that popular. I don't need to be concerned about being like, hey, get it while you can and have a specific time. But in the morning on the 10th, I'll try and have them up by 10 a.m. PST. And I am really excited to do future shop bundles. I want to do at least seasons. So I've done 2 winter bundles now, and I love them. I think it's fun, and they're available individually, but I think the discount bundles and like advertising them that way is really fun. And I want to do a winter, spring, summer, and fall bundle released every year. I think that would be very fun, like collections. Let me know if that's something that interests you guys. Not necessarily specifically with my art, but like in general, is that the kind of thing that you find fun, or like you like to buy from the people that you buy stuff from? Yeah, I'm hoping to get a few of those out, as well as maybe some specific holidays. Probably going to try and theme future winter bundles a little less directly Christmassy and maybe more wintry. I do like to say that these axolotls and stuff, they're not only Christmas, because like gingerbread houses are gingerbread houses. They're Christmassy, but they're also just like cookies of the season, and candy, and peppermint is as well, and sugar cookies as well. But they're definitely very Christmassy oriented, and I would say that the bauble, that's a Christmas thing. I know a lot of people though celebrate Christmas even if they don't actually celebrate Christmas. Like, they enjoy the decor and all of that, so there's always that. They're cute. But I think I want to steer away from that theme quite so hard next year. I think this year? Oh my gosh, it's this year. Hello, it's the first video of the year. This year I want to make more maybe icy, wintry kind of themed stuff, like seasonal themed, not holiday themed. And I don't think I'm going to be doing, say, a Valentine's drop. I might have something Valentine's Day themed in my shops, but I'm not going to do a big, this is a merch drop kind of bundle or collection. Let's see, I had some more things to talk about. Right, because it's the new year. Pardon me, I just bumped my elbow on the desk. It's the new year, and I wanted to talk a little bit about my goals while you watch the artwork. It's in its scary phase right now. I thought the face was really scary for a little while. Anyway, so I only set 2 New Year's resolutions, and I am not a hardcore New Year's resolutions person. I usually end up kind of making some and then not following them. It's usually some kind of health or like fitness or something crazy. I go overboard. But I just have 2. I have one that's more of a personal, I do vlogs, but for myself only, because I have a terrible memory and I want to remember things. So I just vlog my everyday life. This is what I made for lunch today. This is videos of the cats. Mostly I just whip the camera out and film stuff. That is the kind of vlogs I like to watch, but I don't post these. And so one of my goals is to make sure that I edit the vlog daily so they don't get way behind, because I have a million videos just floating around in folders named new folder 2, March 2025, and then inside of that will be new folder. So I want to try and be a little more organized there. And the other thing, which is much more pertinent to what we're actually doing here and my channel, even though it's not directly about my channel, is I want to stream more often. So I want to stream on Twitch. I'm at Jasmine twitch.tv/Jasmine Zelmer, and I stream, but I kind of fell out of it last year. I got a full-time job and just couldn't stream as much as I wanted to because I was tired all the time. But I want to get back into streaming more often starting this year. And I'm really excited. It ties directly in with my shops and stuff. I want to revive my Patreon and match it to my Ko-fi. So everybody knows what Patreon is, right? It's the subscription-based platform where you follow someone, but like follow an artist, and you get exclusive content or you get stuff shipped out to you, etc., etc. And Ko-fi is a very similar beast. It is a subscription-based program or platform like that. However, it also has less fees and it has a shop and a place for taking commissions directly tied into it. So it's a really good platform if you already have a following. I would say Patreon is kind of the same. But it's also not as well known, which is why I want to revive my Patreon. I want it to match. I want them to be the same thing. But if you're not comfortable with the Ko-fi platform, or you don't want to make another account and you already have a Patreon account, you could follow over on Patreon. And vice versa. If you don't want anything to do with Patreon, I've got a Ko-fi account. And then there's Etsy. Etsy is just a shop that I understand that a lot of people would be more likely to buy from Etsy than from Ko-fi. So I have both a Ko-fi and an Etsy shop. Etsy has more fees involved, but I also get a lot more random traffic there. So all three of these things, I want to tie them in together a little more. Well, it's got whatever I'm selling. Whatever I've got on Ko-fi will be on Etsy, including the winter bundles. So January 10th drop, the winter bundles will be on Etsy. We've got Ko-fi, we've got Patreon, we've got Etsy. What am I talking about here? I'm talking about the theme that I want to do. Usually people do, well, not usually, but a lot of times artists do a specific theme, exclusive artwork. And I struggle with exclusive artwork for things like Ko-fi and Patreon because I don't like my art being exclusive. I make a really pretty piece and I want to sell it as a print for everybody, anybody, you know? I don't like the exclusivity of it. However, I think having lesser exclusive things would be perfectly fine to me, but I also don't want to offer my patrons and Ko-fi members crap rewards, right? So my idea is to have a theme each month and do a nice painting and illustration, something larger than I would normally do, but that is also working towards a goal, and that would be my world. We're getting into another offshoot topic, but I work on my own fantasy world setting, and I'm working on a book for it, like a campaign setting book, if you are familiar with Dungeons and Dragons. If not, don't worry about it. So illustrations for that book each month. And instead of having that illustration be exclusive, I'm going to have exclusive sketch prints. And I think that is a really fun idea because it would be it would be these prints that are me coming up with the concept of the artwork. I don't know if I'm explaining myself well here, but basically my members would get an illustration print that is available to anyone that wants to buy it, but my members would get one automatically. And they would also get a print that has all of the work that went into it, like the sketches, the little thumbnails, and that on like an aesthetic little print. And I think that that would be really cool. And there's also going to be stickers and stuff. There's a few different tiers, obviously. That's like how Patreon usually works and stuff. There's tiers where you're basically just doing a tip jar kind of thing. But I also have like coloring pages and stuff available if anyone's interested. I don't have a lot, but I'd like to work on them more. And that brings me to, what am I doing this month for the themes? Well, I'm actually doing an overarching theme for all of this year, but I don't want to talk about it quite yet because I want to talk about the theme more when I have a video out that is actually an artwork of the theme, if you know what I mean. So it kind of will match what I'm doing. But in general, I have titled it what is it I said? Celestial theme. So, hopefully that's exciting. I can't believe I've managed to fill up this much of the video. I'm just like rambling and trying to keep the talking going because I know that this is a very long video because it has 2 different artworks in one. This, by the way, is the artwork that I really, really loved. This is what I dub the Bobblelotl because it's a bobble axolotl, and I just love saying that. So I just recorded a big long segment talking about the artwork, but I was actually not recording. Yay! But I thought that since I had gone on and on and on and rambled about a bunch of other stuff, that I would talk about the art a little bit. Just remember, January 10th, we've got the 2025 winter bundle drop, which has these in it, and to look forward to some celestial themed streams on Twitch and artwork coming up on the channel for this year. Okay, so these artworks, for pretty much all of the axolotls, I used mostly gouache with a little bit of watercolor. I am primarily using the mixing wells for the watercolor pan there to use with gouache, but I like to tint my gouache here and there with the watercolors themselves because they've got an easier range of pigment to pick up. And if you're unfamiliar, gouache, regular gouache, not acrylic gouache, don't use acrylic gouache with your watercolors. You can use watercolor. You can mix watercolor pigment a little bit in with acrylics, the way that you can water down acrylics, but do not mix acrylic in with your watercolor, please. However, because these are regular gouache, they are essentially opaque watercolors, and they break down with water. I just mixed them right there on the pan. The only other material that I used very much was these Arctic's acrylic markers that I put on top of my watercolor. This gold one kept getting a bubble on it. Like, it kept bubbling. I don't know why, but I was just careful with that. And I love using my Arctic's acrylic markers for final touches and opaque areas and details, and this gold was especially fun. I really, really liked adding the gold to this one. I think it's one of the reasons why I especially love the Bobblelotl. I was not sure about the markings on this. I was trying to make them look like glitter. I should maybe have just made them gold swoops, but I really wanted to make them look like they were glittery. I think adding these dark shadows underneath them really helps though. I was really unsure of them. Then I added the dark lines, and now this is one of my favorites. I think it turned out really, really cute. It was really difficult though. Just the making something shiny like this with no reference. So I had references of baubles, like glass baubles and stuff for a tree, but I obviously had nothing in this shape of this material in this position to reference. So it was pretty difficult, but it was a lot of fun to practice. And, you know, next time I'll do even better. I also took the markers and I added little touches of other colors. For one, I just like adding other color to my painting, so it's not just greens and yellows and stuff, but then we'll add like some other color in there. But I wanted it to kind of look like Christmas lights reflected far off in the distance, so I added little blues and yellows and reds and greens, tiny little dots in like a string formation here and there reflected on the bobble-oddle. I also really love these ornaments down here in the corner. I'm not necessarily the happiest with how I painted them, but I really, really like how I drew them. And they were a lot of fun. This whole painting was quite a lot of fun. I feel like I worked more with watercolor on this one than I did, or on these two, than I did with any of the others. And I'm not quite sure why. Maybe because I had my pan all the way open so I could see the watercolors. But that brings me to another point that I wanted to mention in this video that I had completely forgotten about, which is the paper. I love me a mixed media sketchbook, but I don't like this one. Normally I use, my goodness, Manna. She's meowing away at me. Normally I use a Canon XL mixed media sketchbook and I love it. But this is a Strathmore mixed media sketchbook, which is mostly pretty good, but it does not like watercolor the same. Like, it's not great for watercolor. It's better than printer paper, but yeah, I don't recommend it. If you're going to go into like Walmart or something and you see the various ones, don't go for the Strathmore one. Go for the Canon XL mixed media if you just want a cheap mixed media sketchbook and you plan on doing any kind of wet mediums. I guess for just acrylic or sketching or whatever, this one's absolutely fine. But it didn't exactly tear up the paper when I was using the wet mediums, but they didn't go down nicely. And it can really discourage a newer artist or someone newer with watercolor when they have a material that's fighting them. And they can think that it's actually that watercolor are bad or they're not good at it, when it's actually the material that you're painting on. The surface is very important with watercolor. And obviously there's fancy watercolor paper and medium tier watercolor paper and such. Please don't mind the cat. I don't know why she's yelling. Yes, hello. That being said, Canon XL is a nice one to practice sketching and playing with watercolor in. Strathmore is not. I'm working now on the tiny little bauble, I guess the little larvae, the little guy. Once again, Carolina inspires me to make little guys, and there's that bubble again. There's that gold bubble. It kept coming back. Anyways, I love this little guy. I especially liked him right here, but then I messed with the painting a bit more and I don't like it quite as much anymore. I was getting very tired of the axolotls. Don't get me wrong, I love axolotls. And it wasn't necessarily that I was getting tired even of painting axolotls, but I was getting a bit tired of these ones hanging around for so long. I wanted to finish them, and I did, and I'm really, really happy with it. I add the final touches with just a little bit of Payne's Gray and water to make a shadow. And let's see, there's one other material I used other than a pencil for sketching, and that is the LePen pens, which I use for outlining. They're nice because they're water-based, so if I add them at the end, I can soften them up. But this is how it turned out, and I really hope that you guys like the Bubble-Oddle as much as I do. He's cute, he's derpy, he's shiny, he's pretty. And yeah, if you want to look up any of the stuff that I've been talking about, I am Jasmine Zelmer everywhere, and I really hope that you guys enjoy everything that's coming this year. Thank you so much for stopping by.